Good afternoon, students. I am Bhagaban Prasad from Government UP School, Kanswal, Rajangpur. Students, my dear students, first I ask you, do you want to play games? Certainly, all of you must like to play. All of you must like to play the games. In your school, there is a game period. Yes or no? There is a game period, and you must take part in the games. Why there is the game period? Because it is related to health education. Health education is also part of education. That's why in your school, every year there is the annual sports, and all of you take part in annual sports. And if you do better in your annual sports in school level, you can be selected to the block level. Then you can be selected to district level, then state level, then international level. Similarly, there is a mega event in the national international level regarding the sport, that is called the Olympic game, which is very important, and the Olympic game is famous in all over the world, and most of the countries take part in this Olympic game. Now we are going to study about the Olympic game, which is in your English book, the topic Olympic games. We see this picture. Picture देखियो. What is this picture? What is this? Do you know? Who know it? What is this picture? Who can tell it? Which picture? What is this picture? There is the 5 rings.
5 rings.
5. What? Again? What is this picture? The picture of corner. What is the 5 rings related to? Do you know who can tell it? Who can answer it? This is the Olympic symbol. The 5 rings are the Olympic symbol, and it is the unit of 5 continents who take part in the Olympic games. Okay? And these 5 continents are Asia, Europe, America, Africa, and Oceania. The 5 rings is related to the 5 continents who take part in the Olympic games. Okay? Then, before going to the chapter, I am telling you about some pictures. Who is this? Do you know? Who is this person? This person is the Baron Perry D. Coubertin. This person, Baron Perry D. Coubertin, is the founder of the modern Olympics, and it started on 6th April 1996, Athens in Greece. Baron Perry D. Coubertin. Before going to chapter, I am going to tell you about some sportsmen, deputed sportsmen or Olympic athlete and sportsmen. Do you know who is this? Neeraj Chopra. Neeraj Chopra. Who is Neeraj Chopra? Do you know? Neeraj Chopra, who born in 24 December 1997, is an Indian athlete, Neeraj Chopra, and we are very proud of this person, Neeraj Chopra. Why? He is the javelin throw, and he is the Olympic gold medal at Tokyo 2020, and he won the silver medal at the Paris Olympic 2024. So he is the proud of our country and proud of our nation. Okay. Then, do you know who is Usain Bolt? He is not an Indian, but he is the greatest athlete in a Jamaican athlete, and born in 20 August 1986. Profession is a runner. That means he won the medal in running. You know this person? Abhinav Bindra. Abhinav Bindra. He is an Indian and he born in September 28, 1982 in Indian. Bindra is a retired Indian sports shooter and former Olympic gold medalist. Why he is famous? Because Abhinav Bindra is the first individual Olympic gold medal in 10-meter air rifle event at 2008 Beijing Olympic. ये हमारा भारत रे प्रथम गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट थिले. He won the first gold medal for India in 2008 Beijing Olympic. Abhinav Bindra, we are proud of him. Then I am going to show you some athlete who is an Indian athlete, though they could not win the Olympic game, medal in Olympic games, but still then we are proud of him. There, one of them. Do you know who he is? The answer yet? Do you know? Attanu Das. Name is Attanu Das. Born in April 5, 1992. He is an Indian and winner of Olympic silver medal at World US Champions in US World Champion 2011 and bronze at the Asian Championships. That means Attanu Das made his Olympic debut in Rio 2016 Olympics. 2016 Olympic भाग नहीं where he reached the round 16 in the men's individual event. Again, in 2023 at Tokyo Olympic, Summer Olympic, he advanced to the pre-quarter finals to the men's individual event, defeating South Korean Olympic medalist. In 2020, he was awarded Arjun Award for the archery achievement. Attanu Das is the greatest athlete in India. Another, do you know who she is? Answer, ये case है. Most of you must know this lady. Can you tell me? Is the P.T. Usha. P.T. Usha she is called the Queen of Track and Field. Queen of Track and Field. दौड़ रानी बोले हमारा भारत रे तपन दौड़ रानी. Queen of Track and Field. So she did not win any medal in the Olympic, but she is proud of in our nation as an greatest athlete. Then we come to our topic. This is all about our athlete, all about our athletic, or all about our Olympic Games. Now, can you tell me when the first ancient Olympic Games started? क्या कोई परिवार प्रथम Olympic Games केबे आरंभ होइथिला? Can you tell me when the first ancient Olympic Games started? Can you tell me? According to the Google reference, the ancient Olympic Games first started in 776. According to the Google reference, the first ancient Olympic Games started. When did the modern Olympic Games first started? It's an ancient Olympic Games. But when did the modern Olympic Games started? The modern Olympic Games started on 6th April 1896. प्रथम 1896 एप्रिल 6 तारिख रे मॉडर्न ओलंपिक गेम स्टार्ट होइतिला and 776 BC ancient Olympic Games started. Is the Olympic held every year or after a gap of years? Can you tell me? Is the Olympic Games held every year or after the gap of some years? क्या प्रत्येक वर्ष हुए ना किसी से वर्ष अंतर हुए? Can you tell me? Can the Olympic Games? Who can tell me? Can the Olympic Games held every year or after the gap of some years? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Anyone? प्रत्येक वर्ष ओलंपिक गेम हुए ना किसी वर्ष अंतर हुए? Is the Olympic game held every year or after the gap of some year? Who can tell me? None of you. Olympic Games is held after the gap of 4 years. In every 4 years, Olympic game started. Held in every 4 years. Okay. This is about our Olympic game. In near STB1, the ancient Olympic Games began in the Valley of Olympia in Greece. Thousands of years ago, we don't know how, why, or when they first started. One of the stories about how the Olympic Games began mentions the great hero Hercules. Hercules was famous for his strength. The king of Mycenae was jealous because Hercules was more famous than he was. So he ordered Hercules to do many difficult and dangerous tasks. He was sure that Hercules would die while after trying to do them. However, Hercules was not only strong but also very clever. He found the ways of completing all the 12 dangerous and difficult tasks. Zeus, the king of gods, was so happy that he took Hercules to Mount Olympus to live among the gods. He also began the Olympic Games in the honor of the Hercules. Now, in second time, I read it, and you will read again and again in your house. The ancient Olympic Games began in the Valley of Olympia in Greece. Thousands of years ago, we don't know how, when, why, and when they first started. One of the stories about how the Olympic Games began mentions the great hero Hercules. Hercules was famous for his strength. The king of Mycenae was jealous because Hercules was more famous than he was. So, he ordered Hercules to do many difficult and dangerous tasks. He was sure that Hercules would die while trying to do them. However, Hercules was not only strong but also very clever. He found the ways of completing all the 12 dangerous and difficult tasks. Zeus, the king of gods, was so happy that he took Hercules to Mount Olympus to live among the gods. He also began the Olympic Games in the honor of Hercules. Okay? Then I am going to explain the SGB1. SGB1 button देखिए. The ancient Olympic Games began in the Valley of Olympia in Greece. The ancient Olympic Games. The ancient Olympic Games. What do you mean by ancient? What do you mean by ancient? Ancient. What do you mean by ancient? Ancient means a long ago. That's it. Ancient means long ago, long ago. अनेक दिन तक पुरातन. Ancient Olympic Games began in the Valley of Olympia in Greece. Valley. Do you know what is valley? What do you mean by valley? valley. Look at this picture. This is called valley. Okay, this is called valley, and this is the valley of Olympia. This is the picture of valley of Olympia, Olympia valley, and this is the Olympia valley of Olympia. This type, and I show you another picture, valley of Olympia. It is ancient valley of Olympia, and now it turned into this model, valley of Olympia. Eta puratana Olympia thila, eta bartaman Olympia. Okay, what do you mean by valley? Valley means a low area of land between hills and mountains. Odia kanti upatyaka, valley. The ancient Olympian games began the valley of Olympia in Greece. That means in the first line, in the first line it tells that in ancient Olympic games started in valley of Olympia. In Olympia upatyaka ଆମର କଣ ହେଇଥିଲା ancient Olympic games ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇଥିଲା. That means Olympia games, ancient Olympic games started in Greece and it is in valley of Olympia. Okay, thousands of years ago we don't know how, why and when they first started. The ancient Olympic games started so many years ago. At that time, we don't know why. What do you mean by no? No means no. Realize. Another word, realize or janiba. We don't know how the Olympic Games started. We don't know why the Olympic Games started at that time, and we don't know when the Olympic Games started. It is about an ancient Olympic Games. One of the stories about how the Olympic Games began mentions the great hero Hercules. Mentions. What do I mention? One of the stories about how the Olympic Games mentions the great hero Hercules. Mentions means refer to something briefly. Ullekha karajiba. One of the stories about the Olympic Games. That means there is a story about the Olympic Games. There is a story about the starting of the Olympic Games. And this story mentions about the great hero. The great hero ka upar eta mention kara hoichi. That means this story mentions or is about a great hero, and that name of the great hero was Hercules. This person is the picture of Hercules. This picture of Hercules is the great hero Hercules. That means in these three lines we come to know that in all the ancient Olympic Games started in so many years ago, and at that time we don't know about the Olympic Games. That means when the Olympic Games started, how the Olympic Games started, and where the Olympic Games started. But it is about this Olympic Game tells about the what? About the great hero, and it also relates the great hero that is called Hercules. Then second paragraph. Hercules was famous for his strength. The king of Mycenae was jealous because Hercules was more famous than he was. So he ordered Hercules to do many difficult and dangerous tasks. He was sure that Hercules would die while trying to do them. However, Hercules was not only strong but also very clever. He found the ways of completing all the difficult and dangerous 12 dangerous and difficult tasks. That means in the first stanza, we comprehend that the Olympic Games relates to the Olympic Games tells about the greatest hero. He is called Hercules. And what is that story? What is the story talk about? That Hercules was famous for his strength. Hercules was famous for his strength. Famous. What do you mean by famous? Famous. What do you mean by famous? Famous. Famous means well known or popular. Prasiddha. Hercules was famous for his strength. That means Hercules had the good physics. He was very famous. He was well known. He was very popular for his good physics. Okay? That is बहुत बड़वान थिला, बहुत strength थिला. से strength पे बहुत popular थिला, प्रसिद्ध थिला. The king of Mycenae was jealous. The king of Mycenae was jealous. The king of Mycenae was jealous. Jealous. What do you mean by jealous? The king of Mycenae, jealous. Jealous means envious. Another word, jealous. Another word of jealous is envious. The king of Mycenae was jealous. It's that. At that time, when Hercules was very famous in the country, and Hercules was very well known, very popular for his strength, the king of Mycenae was jealous of him. Raja kande तांको तो ईर्ष्या करथिले. Because he became very popular. जे राजा टा बेसी popular हेइथिले. Because Hercules was more famous than he was. Why the king of Mycenae jealous of Hercules? Because Hercules was famous. Hercules was popular more than the king in that country, in Mycenae. Okay? So Mycenae रे राजा ठारो अधिक popular थिले बोले राजा ताको ईर्ष्या करथिले. Then so he ordered Hercules to do many difficult and dangerous tasks. He ordered Hercules to do many difficult and dangerous tasks. When the king jealous of Hercules, he tried to dominate him. He tried to dominate kariyaku. Then he gave some difficult tasks. What do you mean by difficult? What do you mean by difficult? Difficult. What do you mean by difficult? Difficult means hard. Another word, difficult, hard. That means at that time, the king became jealous of Hercules. Then he gave many to do many difficult tasks. सेटा बहुत कष्टकर काम करते and he gave many dangerous tasks. Many dangerous tasks means threatening, विपदपूर्ण कार्य. Okay, that means the king wanted to dominate Hercules as he was very popular than the king. So the king ordered him to do. That means he gave some difficult and dangerous tasks to Hercules and ordered him to do it. Ago difficult or dangerous tasks dele ଏବଂ ତାକୁ ଆଦେଶ ଦେଲେ ଏଟା କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. Why? କାହିଁକି କଲେ? The king knew that he was sure that Hercules would die while trying to do them. As the king ordered Hercules to do this work, the Hercules had to do this. ତାକୁ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. The king sure that Hercules can't do this work because it was very difficult and it was very dangerous. And he is sure that Hercules, while Hercules trying to do this dangerous task, while Hercules trying to do this difficult task, he must die. ସେ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ମରିଯିବ. So he ordered to do some difficult and dangerous task. However, Hercules was not only strong, but also clever. Hercules was very famous for his strength. Hercules was very popular for his strength. But Hercules was not only strong Strong means, do you know? Strong, strong, powerful, शक्तिशाली. Hercules are not only strong, but also very clever also. What do you mean clever? Clever, clever, clever. You are very clever also. What do you mean by clever? Intelligent. Another word, intelligent, Chatura. That means Hercules was not only strong, he was also very clever. ସେ କେବଳ strong ଥିଲେ ତା ନୁହେଁ, ସେ ବହୁତ ଚତୁର ବି ଥିଲେ. He found the ways of completing all the 12 dangerous tasks. He found the ways of completing all the 12 dangerous tasks. Found is the word. It is the past form of the word find. So find is the basic word. Mula pada is find. Then the past form is the found. Okay. What do you mean found? Discover. Right. That means the ways of completing. Completing means completing, finishing. Okay? Completing, finishing. Then Hercules was not only strong. Hercules केवल strong था नहीं. He was also very clever. When the king gave him the difficult dangerous task, then he tried to find the ways of completing all these tasks. He tried to find the finishing all these tasks. Okay? से केवल चतुर थे केवल स्ट्रंग थे से चतुर भी थे. So he found the way. से सब way बाहर कर देते पाइगले. Then he found all the way how to complete all these tasks. Then he also completed it. ସେଟାକୁ କେମିତି ଶେଷ କରିବାକୁ ତାର ବିଭିନ୍ନ ସୂତ୍ର ପାଇଗଲେ ତାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ କଣ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ ମଧ୍ୟ କରିଦେଲେ. That means he completed all the difficult and dangerous tasks given by your king. Then in the third paragraph, Zeus, the king of gods, was so happy that he took Hercules to Mount Olympus to live among the gods. He also began the Olympic Games in the honor of Hercules. King Zeus, the king of gods. Zeus, the picture of Zeus. Zeus is the in Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, your Zeus is the king of gods. He was so happy that he took Hercules. He took Hercules. Take hold of. There took is the past form of take. Okay. He was so happy that he took Hercules to Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus. What do you mean by Mount Olympus? Mount Olympus. See, this is the picture of Mount Olympus. Okay. This is the picture of Mount Olympus, which is situated in Greece. Picture of Mount Olympus. The Mount Olympus. Mount means Parvata. Olympus Parvata. Mount Olympus to live among the gods. When Hercules completed all the difficult tasks, all the dangerous tasks given by the king, then the king of God, in Greek mythology, the king of God became happy. He became happy. Then he took Hercules to the Mount Olympus. Then in Greek mythology, on the Mount of Olympus, the gods live. Olympus, Greek mythology, Olympus, Mount Olympus, देवता माने बास करते. Then king of gods took Hercules to live in Mount Olympus among the gods. ସେ ଖୁସି ହେଇକି ଦେବତା ମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ବାସ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କାହାକୁ ନେଇଗଲେ ହରକ୍ଲେସ୍ ନେଇଗଲେ ମାଉଣ୍ଟ ଅଲିମ୍ପସ୍. Okay. He also began the Olympic Games in the honor of Hercules. Then from that time, the king of gods Zeus became so happy that एत्ते खुशी हो गले. Then he began a sports, began a game, and it is called Olympic game. And this Olympic, the word Olympic comes from the Olympus. Then from this time he began Olympic games. He began means who began? The god of the king of gods began the games. Honor means glory or tribute, samman. Then he also began Olympic games in the honor of Hercules. वैसे खुशी हरक्लेस का सम्मानार्थ से गोटे ओलंपिक गेम्स आरंभ करते. This is the story about the beginning of the starting of the why Olympic games start. Why the Olympic game began. कहीं के Olympic game है. This is the story, and this story takes to the great hero Hercules in. Okay, this is your SGP1. Then we come to the from 10 SGP1 in this chapter. Before going to question, I summarize this SGP1. SGP1 नाम कौन था summary कौन थिला? In ancient Olympic game began in the Valley of Olympia, and it is in Greece, and it began in so many years ago or thousands of years ago, and we don't know how the Olympic game first started, or we don't know why the Olympic game started. At that time we don't know when the Olympic game started, but there is a story related to it. There is a story related to the Olympic game. The story related to a great hero named Hercules. यार जो स्टार्ट हमारा गोटे स्टोरी अच्छी जो हरक्लेस पर रिलेट कर. Who was Hercules? Hercules was in Greece. He was a Greek, and he was a Greek hero. Why he was very popular? Because he was very popular. He was very famous for his strength. That means he had very good physics, and he was very popular more than the king of Mycen. राजा माइसेन ठार से आहुरी पॉपुलर थे. When Hercules became popular more than the king became jealous. Then he wanted to, he gave him so many difficult and dangerous tasks, because he wanted to, he knew that when Hercules trying to do them, he must die. But Hercules was not only strong, he was very clever. For his cleverness, he found the ways of completing the dangerous task. How the dangerous task can be completed, he found all the ways, and he also completed it. When Hercules completed all the dangerous tasks, the king of God Zeus became very happy, and he took him to Mount Olympus to be the god. And he also started an Olympic game in the honor of greatest hero Olympic Hercules. Okay. Then we come to some questions. Activity 1. The students tell me some questions. We read about the Olympic game in SGP1, and there are some questions in this SGP1. And first question is, where did Olympic game begin? Where did Olympic game begin?
Olympic game began in the Valley of Olympic in Greek.
Very good. The Olympic game began in the Valley of Olympia in Greece. Very good. School it is? Who is the school? Very good. When did it begin? It means Olympic game. When did Olympic game begin? Yes, school.
It began thousands of years ago.
It began thousands of years ago. এক বছর পূর্বে আরম্ভ হয়েছিল। Thank you. Very good. Very good answer. Who was Hercules?
One of the stories about how the Olympic Games began mentions the great hero Hercules, a great hero in Greek mythology.
Because sorry, there Hercules was again. Can tell it. Hercules was Bangala school. Bangala school. Who was Hercules? Who answer it? Answer it. Yes, high school has already given the correct answer. Again, I ask you the same question. Who was Hercules? Bangala school. Who can tell it?
One
Who can
of
answer
the
it?
stories.
Then Hercules was a great hero in Greek mythology. I have already told you when I explain it. In Greek mythology, Hercules was a great hero. Okay? What was he famous for? What was he famous for? What was he? He means Hercules. He means Hercules. What was Hercules famous for? What was he famous for? This is Gandhi. Answer it. What was he famous for? कहीं प्रसिद्ध थे? He means Hercules. Why the Hercules was famous for? What was he famous for?
Hercules
What was he famous for?
of his strength.
He was famous for? Again, he was famous for? Okay, you are correct. But completely, he was famous for?
Hercules was famous for his strength.
He was famous for his strength. He was famous for his strength. He was famous for his good physics. Okay. Why was the king of Mycenae? Why was the king of Mycenae jealous of Hercules? Why was king of Mycenae jealous of Hercules? Hercules were कहीं jealous थे?
The king of Mycenae was jealous because Hercules was more.
The king of Mycenae was jealous because Hercules was more popular or more famous than he was. Then, what did the king order Hercules to do? What did the king Hercules order to do? You can answer it. The king ordered Hercules to do many difficult, dangerous tasks. Okay. What are the king sure of and why? What was the king sure of and why? What was the king sure of? Raja कौन sure थे and why? Tell me. Who can answer it? Nobody. The king was sure that Hercules would die while trying to do the difficult and dangerous task. As the task was difficult and dangerous. Okay. Was Hercules strong? Yes or no? Was Hercules strong? Yes, he was strong, or no, he was not strong? Was Hercules strong?
Yes,
Yes, Hercules was
strong.
strong. How many tasks did he have to complete? How many tasks on the How many tasks did he have to complete? How many tasks he had? How many tasks?
He found the
Okay.
ways of completing all the 12 dangerous and difficult tasks.
He had 12. He had to complete 12 tasks. Only answer is this. He had to complete 12 tasks. What did Hercules find to do the tasks? What did Hercules find to do tasks? Hercules कौन पाई ଦେଇଥିଲେ टेस्ट कंप्लीट କରିବା ପାଇଁ? Hercules found the ways of complete the task. So ସମସ୍ତ way ପାଇ ଯାଇଥିଲେ. Okay. Who was the king of gods? You can tell me. Who was the king of gods?
Zeus, the king of the gods.
Zeus is the king of
gods.
gods.
God.
Why was Zeus happy with the Hercules? Happy with Hercules? Because Zeus was happy with Hercules because Hercules found the ways of completing 12 difficult, dangerous tasks. Okay. Where did he take Hercules to? Where did he take Hercules to? Hercules कौन नहीं इसलिए? In one word, give the answer. Where? He took Hercules to Mount Olympus so that he could live among the gods. What did he do in the honor of Hercules? See the last line. What did he do?
He also began the Olympic Games in the honor of Hercules.
He began the Olympic Games in the honor of Hercules. Okay. Who is the founder of the modern Olympic Games? See the evaluated question. Who is the founder of modern Olympic Games? Who is the first? Baron Perry de Coubertin of France young man. That I have shown it in the first. This is a picture at first. When was the modern Olympic Games first held? 6th April 1896. Okay. Where will the next Olympic Games be organized in the 2028? Where? Who know it? Where will the next Olympic Games be organized in 2028? 2028 कोट Olympic Games हबो? Who know it? It is one kind of GK. Where? No, none. The next Olympic Game will be organized in Los Angeles in USA. Okay. Next Olympic Game will be organized in Los Angeles in USA in 2020. Okay. You have to remember it. What is the time gap between the Olympic Games and the other? Time gap कहते हैं? every 4 years. The time gap between Olympic Games and the other is 4 years. What does the Olympic Games symbol stand for? Unit of 5 continents: Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, and America. Okay. Where the Indians got medals, Paris Olympics, this is your homework. You have to collect it.